Why are we still doing this? Giannis Antetokounmpo calls out Jaylen Brown as he claims he is the best player, and we all know that he's doing that just to be funny and just hate, which is absolutely ridiculous. As we just saw the Boston Celtics go and dominate and showcase why Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown are the best duo in the NBA and why they're going to be for this season. So we're going to be breaking down, looking at this nonsense spewed by Milwaukee Bucks star Giannis Antetokounmpo, and kind of get down to the bottom of why he is even spewing this. So welcome back to Celtics Digest. I'm Bruce Veliz. You guys have been absolutely fantastic. Thank you to everyone that came out to the stream tonight. It was fantastic with the Celtics getting a blowout win. We'll be live again tomorrow when the Suns take on the Washington Wizards. So if you missed the last stream, want to come into this one, or just want to hang out again, come join the stream once again. You guys have been great with that. But let's dive into the video on hand. Make sure to grab a snack. And basically, Giannis needs to stop. And that's where I'm kind of come to this with this agreement here, because it's been ridiculous. And we've seen the debates of the Boston Celtics throughout this entire offseason. Leading up to this year, it was, could Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown win a championship together? And as we all saw, that point was proven. They could do it. Then it was, we need to critique Jayson Tatum and hate on Jayson Tatum all summer because he's not good enough. He's getting benched in the Olympics. Jaylen Brown is clearly the best player on this team, yada, yada, yada. Even though everybody was just hating on Jaylen Brown just this summer previous. We all know Jason Kidd was spewing, some nonsense as well throughout the finals, talking about how Jaylen Brown was a better player than Jayson Tatum, this, that. It is absolute nonsense and doesn't even need to be a discussion. But let's look at what Giannis had to say, because it's absolutely crazy. And like I said, Giannis Antetokounmpo says Jaylen Brown is the best player in the NBA, saying that he feels that the best guy in the NBA is the guy that wins a championship and the one that comes away with the finals MVP. So therefore, he feels like Jaylen Brown is the best player, which I think is just a slap in the face, because as we saw last night, Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum are the perfect 1A and 1B situation, and this is what I totally agree. We saw last night Jayson Tatum dominating offensively, so Jaylen steps up defensively, and that's why I love this team so much. They're selfless players with a common goal to win, and that's just starting from the top with just these two guys. When you look at the list of players on this roster, from Jrue Holiday and Al Horford, who are both taking sacrificial roles on this team, with Holiday being a fourth star most nights and Horford coming off the bench for a majority of the season until Kristaps being here. But with Kristaps being out, obviously Horford is starting and taking the next man up. Even Derrick White, a player who could easily be a third option on most contending teams, is taking a bit of a sacrificial role, having nights where he's the third star, having nights he's the fourth star, having nights he's the fifth star. Even looking at the bench, players like Pritchard and Hauser could have bigger roles on more impactful teams, but they choose to come back to Boston, choose to sign these long-term extensions because they know what the culture's about, they know what this city's about, and they know what Boston fans want is to win and to compete. And that's all they truly want to do as athletes as well. It's absolutely ridiculous that we have to deal with all this nonsense and debate and talking when the Celtics proved everybody wrong last season and won a championship. I saw somebody on TikTok talk about this, and they said it perfectly. The Celtics are on a revenge tour this season when they just won an NBA championship. When has that ever happened? When has a team that just defied all the odds and proved that they were the best team in the league and brought basically everyone back, viewed as a non-championship threat, and viewed as a team that got lucky to win a championship? That never happens, and the Celtics are just being hated and ridiculed on, and the fact that they have to deal with all this disbelief throughout the season is just going to fuel their fire even more. We saw Jayson Tatum last night have to deal with all the criticism throughout the season, and look what he came out and did. 37 points, 10 assists, and 4 rebounds, 14 for 18 from the field, 8 for 11 from three-point range, on a 98% true shooting percentage with a plus 26, ladies and gentlemen. This is unheard of, and Jayson Tatum worked on that jump shot, and we broke down how he was going to work on that jump shot. He almost finished the game with a steal and a block as well. But 37, 10, and 4, 1-1 to be the player of the game, and to show out like that, 8 3-pointers when you were being critiqued all throughout the playoffs that your jump shot wasn't it, and the reason you got benched in the Olympics is because you're not a great offensive shooter, just goes once again to prove those haters wrong and to shut them up. And it's just great to see the Celtics be able to do this on the first night of the regular season. Let's not also forget that even though Jayson Tatum did go off and did do very, very solid, Jaylen Brown himself also had a solid game for this Celtics team. Jaylen Brown in this contest played 30 minutes, with 7 from 18 from the field, 5 for 9 for three-point range, with 7 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 steal, finishing with 23 points and also a plus-minus of plus 20. Not only was Jaylen Brown impactful on this defensive side of the ball, but a key moment that he was impactful on was that Jalen Brunson half-court pressure where they got a turnover. Jaylen Brown put up that force to get the, obviously, not passing the half court, and that was key for the Celtics in waking them up and getting them into motion, realizing Jaylen Brown is not focused on that. Like I said, they are a 1A, 1B. They complement each other perfectly. If Jayson Tatum's going off like he was last night, dropping 37, Jaylen Brown's going to put the clamps on. But Jaylen Brown also can hit those threes, so don't disrespect him like the Knicks were when they were doubling Jayson Tatum because they had to, even though he was hitting threes in Mikal Bridges and Karl-Anthony Towns' face. But meanwhile, even though they're doing that, they're leaving Jaylen Brown wide open in the corner, who all he has to do is just casually step into a three and drill it. And let's not also forget that Jaylen Brown started off that third quarter by drilling a three in the first possession. Once again, really taking over the Celtics squad and kind of showcasing that he can also be that guy. Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown work perfectly together because of the fact that they don't need to be a number one every single night. One of them can be that number one every single night. And we've seen some nights where both players obviously both play like a number one, dropping 30 respectively, having 60 of the team's 120 points. But there's also nights where one of those players had his bad night either offensively or defensively, but they step up in that other regard. If Jayson Tatum's going off offensively, Brown is going to pick up the defensive intensity and make sure he's that number one defensive anchor. But if Tatum's struggling offensively and Brown's going to it, he's not going to be selfish and hog the ball. He's going to make sure Jaylen Brown is getting his touches while he's setting up the offense and getting rebounds. That's why this team works so great together. And that's why I think a lot of people want to hate at it and pick at it because they feel like this team isn't that great, but truly it is. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. But that kind of gets to why do we got to do this and why do we got to deal with this? It's just nonsense. It's just ridiculous. I think it's just media obviously just trying to pick at things, trying to just break apart this team and, look at. But as we saw last night, this team is a well-oiled machine. Without Kristaps Porziņģis, once again, against the team that everybody feared was the squad that was built to dethrone the Boston Celtics, they went out there and they put on a three-point masterclass, outscoring the New York Knicks and dominating on both sides. Yes, the Knicks did come back to life a little bit in the second half. Yes, they did look a little bit more comfortable. Yes, they don't have all their roster spots filled. But this Boston Celtics team, once again, is proving that it should be the team to be feared with. And everyone talking about that this team isn't going to repeat, or that this team has no chance of getting to the finals, or that this team is going to run into some issues. It has clearly been shown that it is not going to happen. And even with this issue with not having Kristaps Porziņģis and with Horford still getting older, players like Kornet and Tillman have been able to find their role and step up in key moments for the Celtics squad, and it's been crucial in the season opener. Like I said, Giannis is speaking some BS. Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum are going to prove him wrong, and we're only going to see throughout the season. They take on the Bucks early on. I believe it is 5 or 6 games into the season. I believe it is next week, so we'll have some breakdown. We'll have to see if Giannis can really put his words where it is, because I'm sure that a guy in Al Horford who woke up 2 series ago when going against this Milwaukee Bucks team when Giannis dunked on him, if he can wake up off of that, I'm sure Jaylen Brown, who was fueled to win Eastern Conference Finals and Finals MVP due to the fact that he didn't make an All-NBA team or All-Defensive team, is going to use that fuel to encourage himself to go off versus this Milwaukee's Bucks team when they take them on in just a week. But let me know what you guys think down below. How do you guys feel about this? I'm confident Jaylen Brown is going to perform, show out, and this Bucks team is going to go down in their first matchup versus Celtics because they have no idea what they're asking for with a team that is locked and loaded like this off the gate already. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. How are you guys feeling after this season opener? How are you guys feeling about these comments on Giannis Antetokounmpo? Drop them down in the comment section down below. Once again, you guys have been absolutely fantastic. I really do appreciate all your support throughout the entire offseason on this channel. And with the season picking up, we're still going to have content coming for you guys. So if you want to stay up to date, keep hitting that like button, keep hitting that subscribe button. Come check us out in the stream tomorrow. They're taking on the Wizards, and it should be a good one, as the Celtics will look to extinguish that team and start off 2-0, taking on the Pistons then on Saturday. But I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a great rest of your day, and go Boston Celtics. Peace out, everyone.